Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the most honorable Triple Gem Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. My venerations to the most venerable elders. Our friendship to most venerable fathers. And good morning, good evening to everyone, plus especially audiences around the globe. So today we are coming again to see, after we have our ancestor ceremony breaks for a couple of days, and we just finished our traditional ceremony. I think you all enjoy with your celebration, and maybe you have a chance to meet your parents, your relatives in your homeland. It is such a great blessing for our traditions and our tradition that our ancestor, kings and Sangarajas they left these invaluable legacies for us. As you know, all wise men, they behave for themselves to the benefits of others, like Buddha, Prachitka Buddha, and all arahants. They do a good deeds not because of themselves, because Buddha or arahants has no more wholesome or unwholesome results of their actions. They just only perform such actions for benefits of others, but they're not lazy. They're not lazy because they don't have any chance for unwholesome deeds for their practice, for their life. In Padimokkha Khandaka of Vinaya rule, when the Buddha set up the Patimokkha, Anapatimokkha's, that the monk should recite every half month, every paksa. It means every 15 days, clear moon and full moon. Venerable Mahakapina I think you know who is the Venerable Mahakapina. Mahakapina is the chief disciples of the Buddha. He is not Indian. Mahakapina is not Indian. He came from Kokadavati countries. This country, as said in Dhammapada commentaries, it should across three rivers from the northwestern of the country of India. It's something like from Kazakhstan, Iran, Iraq, or some areas of that country. Venerable Mahakapina, he is an Arahant and the chief disciple of the Buddha. When he sitting in meditation, he concentrates on his purities of morality and ethic, virtue, practice. He satisfies and he thought that he doesn't need to go to Patimokkha every half month because he is purified. He pures. He has no any apathy or offenses to clear, to tell the monks or to clean up. We can call to clean up the apathy or offense. At that time, the Buddha just showed him in front of him, appeared to in front of him and said, "Oh sage, you are the sage, you are the leaders. If you're not going to Patimokkha, who gonna go?" It is very meaningful that all of us as the leaders or monks should do it, even though it is for us we are in good virtues or in good ethics or whatever, but we should do that. Our tradition, Pchum ceremony, is very important for us. You know, in the world, even neighbor countries, our neighbor country like Thailand, Vietnamese, Laos, Thai, Laos, Vietnam. Thai and Laos have a similar traditions to us, but they have just only one day for Loi Thong, Chumban, or dedication merit to their ancestor. In China, Japan, Korea, also they have their Chumban, their ancestor celebration, but they have just specific times, just only a few days, that they celebrate 1 month prior of our action, our ceremony. In America, they have also their tradition we call Halloween in the coming weeks, the ends of October. Also, we call ancestor ceremony, the Halloween. In Mexican tradition, they have also a few days of ancestor celebration to do the same thing, doing something and dedicate to their ancestors. In Europe, England, they have also the same tradition. In October, November, they celebrate like 3 days. They call like Black Fridays and Holy Monday. So from Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, it's almost 4 days for their ancestor ceremony. But for Cambodian nations, from the times of our king Harira Ramathipedi Angdung, we celebrate 15 days. That before that, maybe we do like 3 months, like based on our 9th century stone inscription. One find 3 months periods of doing dedication or celebration for Pchum that support the monk, especially from ancient time, from like before Buddha's time or in Buddha's times. The good people always invite ascetics to stay near their village, to stay in their temples, and they sponsor them for 3 months of rainy periods. And after rainy season, they offer Katina, and all the Pratyeka Buddha or ascetic after Katina, they left village and go to the forest, Hemavant. This is the tradition that we can learn from ancient tradition, like you can find in commentary, you can find in sub-commentary or some part in our Buddhist canon. So I hope that you enjoy your ancestor celebration, to meet all your relatives in back to your homeland. And now maybe you are some already back into Phnom Penh, some still, maybe some still at homeland. I maybe like some of my sister and brothers still in homeland. Okay, thank you very much for today. That we start our new class, new topics, and also the last weeks of our Sutta study for this year, for 2023. It is the last week, so we just have only today and Wednesday and Fridays. So Brother Nin, you want to say something? Yeah, go ahead.
បងប្អូនច្រើនបងគ្រូបងគ្រូកណាមានចំនួនមួយដែរសូមអនុញ្ញាតជាភាសាខ្មែរបងគ្រូការកាន់បិណ្ឌនៅសម័យព្រះពុទ្ធគង់ព្រះធរមានហើយនិងសម័យក្រោយមកមានប្រទេសខ្មែរឡាវហើយជាដើមអញ្ចឹងអាចធ្វើនៅក្នុងពេលវេលាដូចគ្នាទៅនឹងសម័យព្រះសម្មាសម្ពុទ្ធគង់នៅដែរក៏ខុសគ្នារវាងខុសគ្នាទៅនឹងពេលវេលាសុរិយកតិឬក៏ចន្ទគតិអីចឹងឬក៏យ៉ាងម៉េចដែរណាបងគ្រូអរគុណច្រើន
Okay, thank you very much. This is a very good question. The question refers to the time frames. We call time frames, duration, time frames, or the dates of performing or practicing ancestor celebration or ancestor ceremony we call Pchum. Pchum is actually our Cambodian words. Pchum, it means that you have ban or rotation. Banda mean like food, like the rice bowls or the rice. Yeah, when you have a rice, you make it like their mass or their size that you can eat, but it refers to rotation. It means from day 1 to day 2, 3, 4, 5 to 14. It is we call ban, and then the 15 we call Pchum ban. It to collect all the 14 days to do one day. This is our Cambodian tradition. But when we celebrate it in Cambodian tradition, as you know, today is we celebrate on the last months of retreats, because the monks start retreats on the Lear moon, the first Lear moons of Esalaha. So Esalaha, it means the month age of the moon calendar, the month age of moon calendar. And the last, it means the first Lear moons of the month 10. The month 10, we celebrate this celebration. But it is start just from the times of King Angdong, Hare Ramathipati Angdong in 1848. But before that, maybe in Angkor period or before Angkor period, that we see on the stone inscription in 9th century, I think the inscription K 270 something, I forgot that number. We see our king prepare this celebration for 3 months. For 3 months. So from the date of the monk taking retreat, we call Vasopanayika. Vasopanayika, or the monk take vows to practice in 3 months in rainy season. So this 3 months, our king as well as our people, citizens of Cambodia or Khmer, going to the temple and take rotation to support the monk. Because in rainy season, it is not easy to go around to village and take alms, collect alms. With alms bowls, the monk, even though we use umbrella, go in village to collect alms, but in rainy season is very difficult. That's why our king have rotation and ask people. For example, one temple have like 20 villages as the members of the temple. Some temple is very big temple, very big and many members, village members. So they change their rotation. They take their turn to support the monk. For example, in 15 days of celebration, for example, here in my temples, I have 16 days of ancestor celebration. And then the people just take turn from family to family. They collect their relatives or friends, and they come to the temple to support the monk. And from our ancient times, as well as in rural area, like in my temple, in my village. So one village take one turn. One village take one turn to support the monk. And the monk have duties to clean or to practice. Getting up in very early morning, mostly get up at 4. We get up at 4. Remembers to our childhood when I was in just ordained when I was 13 years old. I became a monk, and then get up early morning. Every morning we get up at 4 and go into vihara to pay going to Dhammasirī for homage to the Buddha. We doing first, and then the people start coming around 5:30. Yes, to the temple, and we recite the Parapava Sutra. It is such a good tradition that we do for 15 days. But you asking about the period, the times of practicing from the Buddha's time or before Buddha's time and now, is the same or not? As I told you, it is just only tradition, Cambodian tradition, that we celebrate for 15 days. For other tradition like Thai and Lao, they takes only a few days or one day. They call Loi Krathong. In Cambodia, also the same word, Loi Pratip or Loi Krathong. It is the same. They do in the same day. But for Chinese tradition, China, Japan, Korea, Northern Vietnam, and some other Mahayana countries, Mahayana Buddhist country, they have also the same thing, but they do only one day. Khmer call Sankvaltak as Chinese tradition. But in Chinese tradition, at that time, 1 month before us, in Ulombana Sutra, I think last year I teach about this sutra, Ulombana Sutra. Ulombana Sutra is Mahayana Sutra, very famous Mahayana Sutras. That it is said that Venerable Mahamuggalana see his mother suffer in the hell, and he want to help his mother, but he can't. He could not save. He could not help his mother. He come back to the Buddha and address the problems to the Buddha, and the Buddha asked him to do that. This is the Mahayana source of Pchum or ancestor dedication or celebration. In Theravada Buddhism, our tradition also have Venerable Sariputta, his mother, 5 aliens, come to see him in the bamboo grow temple in Velovana temple in Rajagriha. Also, we can take this as a source of our dedication ceremony. But the time is different. Based on Mahamoggallana and Sariputta in Theravada tradition and Mahayana tradition, the date is not the same. Sariputta mother comes to him not in rainy season, but in Ulumpana Sutta of Mahayana tradition verify that the clear moons, the full moons of the month 7. Month 7 in Chinese tradition, 2 months prior than our months, based on Chinese calendar. So in Ulumpana Sutta, they have specific story that the gates of hungry ghost, preta, hungry ghost, they open the gate and let all the ghosts come to the world and looking for their relatives, children to dedicate merit and perform merit, dedicate to them, and they can enjoy and satisfy. But in Theravada Buddhism, we never see about this statement. The gates of hell, the hells or hungry ghost, never released for them to come to the world, because they are already living in this world. In Theravada tradition, hungry ghost living in this world, and only hungry ghosts. There are 4 kinds of pretas or hungry ghosts can experience or receive the dedications of your good merit, your wholesome faith. But in Ulumpana Sutta of Mahayana tradition, not even the hungry ghosts in this world, but in the hell also can receive your dedication. Even though they celebrate this, but it is just only a few days, not many days. Back to the Buddha's time and before Buddha's time, I think all of you experience or know about the stories of 3 men chief disciples, Uruvela Kassapa, Nati Kassapa, and Gaya Kassapa, and also the King Pimpishara. King Pimpishara, Visakha Upasaka, and 3 men chief disciples of the Buddha, Uruvela Kassapa, Nati Kassapa, and Gaya Kassapa. These 5 men disciples of the Buddha have their story related to their relative who born as a hungry ghost, coming to them and experience wholesome dedication in the royal palace of King Bimbisara, and they free from all the suffering. Free from suffering means they take newborn in heaven with everything. But before getting this, they suffer many years, many years, 91 years or 91 earths that they suffer, not only as a hungry ghost, but in hell. After the hell, they just come in this urn to see the first Buddha, Kakusanta Buddha, ask him about when he can when their relatives do a good deed and dedicate merit to them. Another 3 Buddhas' time, they cannot gain. But when the Buddha's enlightenment, you see, when the Buddha enlightenment, the Buddha enlightenment on the full moon days of Visakha, the full moon day of May. And then he stayed 2 months, spending his time, 7 weeks. Yeah, 7 weeks, more than 2 months. Yeah, 7 weeks at Bodhi tree, Uruvela Senanigama in Bodh Gaya. He spent 7 weeks after his enlightenment in Bodh Gaya. And he went to Saranath, Varanasi, to give his sermons to 5 ascetics, Panchavakya, Kondanya, Vappa, Bhaddiya, Mahanama, and Assaji. These 5 ascetics listened the first Dhamma in the full moons of July. So May and July, May, June, July, yeah, May, June, and July. So 2 months after that. Then the Buddha spent retreats in Saranath. The Buddha spent retreat in Saranath, so retreat for 3 months from July, August, September, October, and the beginning of November. So full moon of October and the full moons of November, the Buddha and retreat or residency. And at that time, there are 61 arahants in the Buddha's time, and he went direct to Gaya, back to Gaya, for the benefits of others. He made 30 bhikkhus, Bhattaya Bhikkhu, the sons of King Pasenadi, 30 of them, that you know the story in Kathina, 30 of them. And then the Buddha directs to Uruvela to see the 3 brothers, Uruvela Kassapa, Nati Kassapa, and Gaya Kassapa. He meet them, the Buddhas meet them and talk Atitta Pariyaya Sutra, in the full moons of December. In the full moon of December. So you see, from full moon of May, June, July, August, September, October, November, and December. So 8 months. And then after that, the full moons of December, the Buddha teach Atitta Pariyaya Sutta about the fire or burn. Chakhung Atittang Bhikkave, something like that. O monks, eyes is burn. Eyes is hot or burn. That is very good. We can say that is uncomparable discussion that the Buddha have for us. So after receiving these 1,000 bhikkhus of 3 brothers to become a monk, the Buddha spent a week in that Uruvela, close to Sujata house. If you see for today, from where the Buddha received Matupayasa, the stick rice, from Sujata, to where the Buddha delivered Atita Pariyaya Sutta is not far from each other. It's just only, I think, just only a mile, maybe 1 or 2 kilometers. And from that, the Buddha went back to Rajagriha, to the king Bimbisara. So the Buddha spent another month, because it is like 18 yojanas from Gayas to Rajagriha. So the Buddha spent like a month to there. So that you see from December, January, and February. So February, the Buddha arrived the kingdom of Magadha. He having stay in the Laptivana, the young palm forest, and King Bimbisara with 20,000 of people come to visit the Buddha and listen the Dhamma and invite the Buddha to have a lunch. First day in Theravada Sutra, first day that the Buddha accepted lunch from King Bimbisara, King Bimbisara did not dedicate this merit to relatives. It is said that King Bimbisara is always forget. He is not good at remembering, King Bimbisara. But this forgetfulness, the Buddha said, Sattanang Pacchaya, because of bad action of beings, not remind the relative to remember them and dedicate to them. Because these Bimbisara relatives not have not have a suitable times to receive this merit. They still have unwholesome. It's not time for them. And then the second day, the Buddha mentioned about that. And then King Bimbisara dedicate merit to them. You see, it is not in rainy season. It actually takes date in February, between February and March, before the fourfold assemblies of Buddhism that the Buddha reside over the Patimokkha. It is clear that in Buddha's time, what Theravada Sutra that the Buddha delivered, it is not in rainy season. It's not in Vasa. But it backs to the story from 3 brothers in the times of the Buddha Posa. The 3 brothers with former King Bimbisara and Visakha, they are doing in rainy season, 3 months, support the monk, support the Buddha and disciple for 3 months. And this hungry ghost did a very miserable action affected to the Buddha, the Dhamma and Sangha, and they suffer for long times in hells and hungry ghost. So if we see that story, we assume that what the friends or relatives of King Bimbisara comes to him is not in rainy season, but the action for supporting the monks always the same. From rainy season, the first day of Vasa, and they support the monk for 3 months. Before Buddha's time, for example, Pacceka Buddha, if you read the story of Mahakashyapa, 500 Pacceka Buddhas, the sons of kings and the queen Patomavati, 500 Pacceka Buddhas also accepted invitations of the king and queens to stay for 3 months, and they have a chance to support them every days. Sorry. And also back to the stories of Venerable Mahakapina, his previous births, Kapina already chief, the village chief, the chief of village. And all villages, 1,000 families. You see, if you go back to Mahakapina story, there are 1,000 families led by the chief. The chief was Mahakapina and Anoja queen. So this family also invited Pratyeka Buddhas and ascetics at that time to take a retreat in their village, close to their village, and they support for 3 months. And many other stories in commentary, especially in Dhammapada. In Dhammapada, we have like 305 stories, but not all stories related to that, but mostly if related to the story of Arahants, the story of the great disciple, the chief disciples, back to the Buddha's time, Patumuttara, Vipassi, or Posa, or other Buddhas, we see the story that they invite them, the Buddha or Pratyeka Buddha or ascetic or recluses who practice in good virtues, ethic, moral, to stay near their village or their temples, monastery, and then they support for 3 months in rainy season, the same as we do right now. So that's why we take this tradition, we respect this tradition, because the wise men doing good, behave benefit for others and themselves. This is like a story that you can see. Our ancestors, including the wise men in Buddha's time, before Buddha's times, they invite Buddha or disciple of the Buddha or ascetic or Pratyeka Buddha, that they came from forest, especially from Himalaya forest, to the village, because it is stated in Dhammapada commentary, ascetic or Pratyeka Buddhas, they live 8 months in forest. They live 8 months in Himalaya area, in the forest, and they will spend 4 months in rainy seasons to village to test salty and bitter foods. So it is tradition that mentioned in Dhammapada commentary and other commentary. So that's why this is the good time for people to celebrate or to do such a great deeds. It's turn for ancestor celebration. But at that time, they don't say it's like a Pchum like it's not doing for their relatives. They just do it for themselves, to support the monks, to support the Buddha, Prajeka Buddha, and ascetic, for their benefit, for themselves. They might not dedicate this merit to departed relatives, but they also maybe. Why? Because the way how to dedicate merit, idang me nyati nang ho tu sukita hontu nyati yo, or idang no nyati nang ho tu sukita hontu nyati yo. This thing is already practiced in Brahmanism. Brahmin, they invite the Brahmin to have a meal or lunch. They always dedicate this merit. The Buddha did not do it. The Buddha did not mention this before Brahmin, where you can see this record. In Anguttara Nikaya, Janosoni Sutra. Janosoni Brahmin, I think it is a famous Brahmin. You may all know about him. Janosoni Brahmin come to see the Buddha and asking the Buddha about doing a good merit. Asking the Buddha that, oh Gautama, where should I give? Where should I offer food or requisites? The Buddha said, wherever you want, wherever you're comfortable with, wherever you are clear, you like, or you want, or you pleasure, or you eager to do, where you like to do, anywhere, any temple. The Buddha doesn't say to this temple, not that temple or monastery. So wherever you want to do, you can do. And Janosoni Brahmin asked the Buddha, whom should I give to? To whom? The Buddha said to whoever you like. You like the monk, you like the beggar, you like the ascetic, you like the Brahmin, you like this person, that person, or this monk or that monk. So whoever you like, you can do. You do. You offer to him. The Buddha not saying specific. And when should I offer? The Buddha said, whenever you can. Whenever be able for you to do. But when when Janosoni Brahmin asking to whom that my offering dispels all other offerings, it means very good, the accumulation or merit, the good merit, the best merit, more merit than giving to others. Then the Buddha said about the Sangha. Sang Dhammi Supatitita. Dakkhina dana, or offering that you give to the Sangha, dispels all other offering. It means the very best offering. Because Janosoni Brahmin asking the Buddha, Gautama, in our tradition, it means in Brahmana tradition, before, after giving the food, after giving alms or meal to the Sangha or to the Brahmin, they always dedicate merit to their relatives. It is Jano Suni Brahmin tell the Buddha and ask the Buddha, having said that in Brahmanism, after doing merit, they dedicate this merit to relatives. Idang me nyati nang hotu sukita hontu nyatayo. And the Buddha said, it is the same thing. The Buddha also allowed Buddhists or his disciples to dedicate merit after giving food, giving requisite or giving offering to the relatives. It is the same way. So we don't have a specific time to dedicate merit to our ancestor. Anytime, anywhere, any person we can do. But if you ask about time frames to dedicate, to celebrate, based on the previous tradition, they invite the monk for rainy season or residency, and they offer the food. They dedicate or not based on their understanding, based on their tradition. Pratyeka Buddha also may instruct them to do. Ascetic in Brahmanism also may ask them to do. But sometimes they don't have any instruction. They just do by themselves. To dedicate is any time, any day, any time that you do the good, you can dedicate. In our tradition, we have these 15 days for ancestor celebration, but any other days that you perform a good deed, you can dedicate merit to your relatives. Am I answering your question, Brother Nin? Okay, that's good. Today I want to bring you to Nitikanda Sutta, but now the time is up. I cannot go that, so just leave it for Wednesday. So Wednesday we will talk about Nitikanda Sutra, and today is enough for today, just only for something, and especially the question from Brother Nins about our ancestor ceremony. Anyone have any other questions? Okay, if you don't have, the classes, should dismiss now. It's good. Thank you very much for your participation today and for your listening. And may all of you be well, happy, and peaceful. May all living beings be well, happy, and peaceful. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you very much for your participation today. Class. Thank you. Yeah, have a good night.
Thank you, Bante. Have a good day.
Thank you.